Hi and welcome. Today we are going to see how to use Google's AI Studio as a tutor to learn Unity. So Google has added a new option where you can share your screen with Gemini, and Gemini will read what is there in the screen and answer your questions accordingly. We are going to use this feature to learn Unity today. For that, you have to click share your screen, and it will give you an option of which window you want to share. So select your Unity window and click share. Hi, I've installed Unity and I've opened the Unity editor, and I don't know like how to get started.
Okay, so you've installed Unity and opened the editor, but you're not sure where to begin. What kind of project are you hoping to create? Knowing this will help guide you with where to start.
I'm hoping to create a simple game.
Okay, you want to create a simple game. Have you thought about what kind of game it should be? Knowing that will help you decide what to work on first in Unity.
I think it'll be better like if I start understanding what are these windows in the Unity editor.
Sure, it sounds like a good idea to first understand the different windows in the Unity editor. Would you like to go through each of the windows one by one? We can start with the hierarchy on the left side of the editor.
Yeah, that will be great.
Okay, let's start with the hierarchy window. In the hierarchy window, you can see all the game objects in your current scene. Can you see the main camera and directional light game objects? They appear as a list.
I see them. What's a game object?
A game object is a fundamental building block in Unity. It can be anything from a character in your game to a light source or even an empty object that acts as a container for other objects. It's basically anything that you will be using in your scene. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
You're welcome. Would you like to move on to the next window, which is
Yeah,
the scene view in the
yes.
center of the editor? Okay, next up is the scene window, which is the window with the blue background in the middle. This is where you visually arrange and edit your game objects. It's basically your game's world editor. Would you like a more detailed explanation of the scene window?
No, that should be fine. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, next up is the game window, which is right next to the scene window on the top. This window shows you how your game will actually look when it's played. It's what your players will see. Is that clear?
Yeah, that's fine. Now that I understand this basic windows, I would like to add an object to the scene, something like a cube, and make it fall automatically.
Okay, you'd like to add a cube to the scene and have it fall automatically. First, let's add the cube. Do you know how to add a cube object to the scene?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, no problem. In the hierarchy window, right-click, then choose 3D object, and then choose cube. This will add a cube to your scene. Did the cube appear in your scene?
Yeah, I did.
Great, the cube is in your scene. Now, to make it fall automatically, we need to add a physics component called a rigid body. Do you know how to add a rigid body to the cube?
No.
Okay, with the cube selected in the hierarchy window, look at the inspector window on the right side. At the bottom of the inspector window, you should see a button that says Add Component. Click that button and in the search field, type rigid body. Then click on rigid body that appears in the search results. This should add a rigid body component to your cube. Have you been able to add the rigid body?
I have two options, rigid body and rigid body 2D. Which one should I select?
Select the regular rigid body, not the rigid body 2D. The rigid body component will enable the cube to interact with physics in a 3D environment. Once you've added the component, try running your game. Do you see the cube fall?
I don't see the cube in my game window.
Okay, it sounds like the cube might be falling out of the camera's view. In the inspector window where the cube is selected, can you adjust the Y value of the position under the transform section? Try changing it to 0 and then run the game again. Does the cube appear now?
The cube's Y value is already 0.
My apologies. I see that the Y value is already at 0. I realized that I had you add a cube, but did not suggest adding a floor. The cube is probably falling straight down and out of the game window since there is no floor to stop it. I think we should make sure there is a floor to stop it from falling out of sight. Would you like help doing that?
What about the other coordinates like the Z value is at -10? Maybe that is a problem.
You're absolutely right. The Z value at -10 could be contributing to the problem. The camera might not be positioned to see the object. Let's set the Z value to 0 as well. Make sure that all of the position values are at 0. Then run the game. Does it appear now?
Yes, it looks good now.
Yes, the cube is now falling as expected. It is just falling off the screen because we haven't yet created a floor for it to collide with. Would you like to learn how to add a floor to the scene so the cube has something to fall onto?
No, that should be enough for today. Maybe I'll try a new lesson tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Feel free to reach out again when you're ready for the next lesson. Have a good day.
Have a good day. Bye bye. So as you saw, I was able to use the Google AI Studio to basically start from scratch, add a cube to my scene and make it fall automatically. So this was a very basic example. So I'm not sure if it will be able to handle a complex code. I haven't tried it yet, but this is a very good tool to use. Like you can use this to learn any other tool that you don't know how to use. So if you think this is useful, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more info like this. Go ahead and give it a try and share your thoughts in the comment below.